Hey y'all, welcome back to Poplar Creek Farm. Today's video is in addition to my Hobby Farm to Business series. We are officially from today 2 weeks away from our first market. The first of the Oneida County Public Market for the summer session. I swear I can't have a video where I don't have a cat walk into that. Anyways, so 2 weeks exactly. You guys will see this video tomorrow, but it's 2 weeks from this Saturday. May 15th is the first market. And I am unbelievably excited. So at this point, being that I'm only 2 weeks away, what am I doing? What am I preparing? What is my prep like? So there's multitude of things. There's still things I need to buy. There's still things that I'm waiting to have arrive. So a couple of those things that I need to buy are, I need to buy more tables. So we have one table here that folds up, a 6-foot folding table. We do need two more. So we're going to do a U-shape booth. That's just how we're going to set up so that we have a good amount of display space and not just one table, because one table would not be enough for all the things that we are selling. So we have to go out and get those. We are also I'm waiting for my egg cartons to arrive. I just ordered those. So when you're selling eggs, farm fresh eggs, they have to be in brand new cartons. So as you see behind me, I have a couple old cartons, which I use for family and friends and for storing eggs. But when you're actually selling, they have to be in brand new clean egg cartons. Your eggs have to be washed and they have to have certain labeling on them. So I did order egg cartons. I ordered pink egg cartons because, you know, pink's my favorite color and I wanted them to be a little more fun than just the plain egg cartons. And they will come printed with some information on them. So the FDA labeling has to say, there's about a specific saying that has to be on your egg carton, and it's about the safety of eggs and how they have to be prepared, how they have to be cooked, and how they have to be stored. So that is going to be already labeled on there. Farm fresh eggs is on there. There's a couple other things. So those will be on there, which is really nice. I just have to put my information. So I have to put my farm name and our address. That is required for selling eggs in New York State at farmers markets for liability purposes. So those are coming. I also have an egg scale coming to give me a good idea of what size eggs I'm actually getting, because it's not the actual size of the egg, although most people would think, extra large, large, medium, small, that's actually not the case. It's actually by weight. So you could have two eggs that are the exact same physical size. They look the same, but could be two different sizes, and you have to have them labeled appropriately. So I have the egg scale coming with the egg cartons. What else am I waiting on? I think that's the majority. I still have to make a bunch of labels for soaps. I'm not labeling every single bar of soap. So like a couple of my scents, I have like 90 plus bars. I'm not labeling every single one right now. That's not my focus. I'm labeling what I'm going to be bringing the first week or two, so that I'm not overwhelming myself. And I haven't made a lot of more soaps right now just because it's not been my focus. I have been more focused on the gardening aspect of things, the chickens, the bees, things like that. That has been more of my focus. So my soaps are pretty much, what I've got is what I've got. I'm not making more at this point. My goal is to start making more over the next few weeks, start making a batch of like 96 every week. But again, that's not like, I'm not so focused on doing that right this second that that's not my focus for the first market. I have lots of soaps made, and I don't think I'm gonna sell every single bar on the first week. If I do, that would be amazing. It would be unbelievable. But I know that's not feasible. So I have my pamphlets for my non-GMO pasture poultry. Although I won't have my chickens ready for sale yet because they are only about 4 weeks old, and so they still need till the beginning to middle of June is when the first batch will be ready. And then I do have more chickens coming in July, as long as these start to sell. But I have those, and I have the order forms ready so that those will all be there and people will be aware that we will be selling this, and you can pre-order chickens. And then I've got my, all of my seedlings are potted up. They are ready for sale. The tomato starts are pretty small still, but over the next 2 weeks they will take off, and I will start hardening them off just before the market, because my market stand is outside. They need to be hardened off, because if they're in direct sunlight and they haven't been out there, they're gonna look pitiful in the first hour or two. So I need them to be ready to be outside. Also, because of all that, and because I've never done a farmer's market, we did one craft fair, my uncle and I, and he's doing this with me. We did one craft fair up in Boonville. We did a couple weekends of it, but we only did it the one place that we've been to, and they had setups already. So we've never set up our stand. So we've never set up our tent, our tables, our displays, the banner, everything. And you also have to have it tied down, obviously. So we need to get some sandbags to just have it secured down so that if it is windy, because here in the Mohawk Valley, it is windy a lot, it needs to be tied down so our tent doesn't go flying off in other people's tents. I'm pretty sure that would make a really bad impression at the market. So what we're going to do, because we've never set it up before and we don't want to go to the market and be like, what do we do? We are going to do a mock run. So today is Saturday, May 1st. So next Saturday, which is 1 week before the market, my uncle's gonna come over. We're going to do a full dry run where you're going to get everything set up, the tent set up, the tables, the tablecloths, the displays, have it all 100% ready to go as if we were at the market. And I think that'll give us a good kind of indication of how long it's gonna take to set up, what our spacing is like, what we can bring, what we can't bring, okay, this is too much, it looks like too much, okay, no, we could add a few more things, because the first few weeks I'm gonna have a ton of seedlings to sell, which is gonna take up a large quantity of space. So the first few weeks are mostly going to be my seedling sale. I will have some eggs, I will have some of my soaps, I will have some of my honey, but the majority of my sale is the seedlings. My uncle will have some of his woodworking, but again, it's going to have to be limited the first few weeks just because we are selling the seedlings, which is a very limited time that I can sell those. I can't have them all summer long because I know that, first of all, even if I were to continually start seeds, I'm not gonna sell somebody a tomato plant in August when I know that they're never gonna harvest from it. So we're gonna have all this set up. We also need to get, for the seedling sale, I am going to have printouts of what each tomato is, what each pepper is, what they can expect for flavor, for production, for size, things like that, what the uses of these tomatoes and peppers are. Because if you don't know, if you're going to a seedling sale and you don't know what you're looking for, you want a tomato for sauce, but you've never done that before. You've never made tomato sauce before, or you just don't know what tomatoes are best. You're not gonna necessarily know what to look for if you don't know these names, because a lot of these names are not tomatoes that maybe people are super familiar with. I did grow a lot of ones that I know people in this area are familiar with. Kind of basic tomatoes, Romas, beefsteaks, things like that. But I also have some really interesting ones. I have ones that I have Dr. Witchy's, I have Cherokee Purple, I have Paul Robeson, I have Amish Paste, Italian Heirloom. Those are ones that maybe people wouldn't be so familiar with. And so if I have that information written down for them, it makes it easier for them to make their selection. Hey, I'm coming to you looking for a paste tomato. I want a large paste tomato so I don't have to have a lot of tomatoes. I don't have to process a lot, I just have to process a few large tomatoes. Well, here, I can give you the Italian Heirloom or the Amish Paste because those are both really good sized paste tomatoes. If you just want a paste tomato but you don't really care if it's a huge tomato, but you really want a great production, Romas are awesome. And I can really give you guys that information, and I can give my customers that information, which helps them make their selections. And some people don't want to talk to you. Like, they're not going to want to, ask you all the questions. So if they can sit there and look at it quickly and read it, it makes them more apt to buy something that they're actually looking for. So these are all the preparations I'm making. I'm sure I'm missing a few things. I have my nursery license, which I do need to get. I'm going to frame it because I do have to have it with me whenever I'm transporting plants or whenever I'm selling plants at another location. I have to have my nursery license displayed and with me. So I am going to get it framed just so that I can bring it back and forth from the market and not lose it or get it wet or, whatever the case may be. And I think that's the majority. Right now, I only have a couple things of honey left, which is fine. That's totally fine. But coming in hopefully later spring, early summer, I should be able to pull, I'm hoping to be able to pull a little bit of honey off of my established hives to do an early sale of honey, which will then kind of give people an indicator of like, hey, this person sells honey, they sell raw honey, And when I have my large fall harvest, hopefully I'll have some kind of customer base. And again, same thing with the chickens, the meat chickens. Hey, this person sells meat chickens. Let me try one the first round, but I know that they're going to have more, and hopefully I will establish these customer bases. I will also be selling produce, but that won't be the first few weeks because obviously my garden isn't producing yet. But making people aware that that is something I will be selling. My garden may not be producing right now, but I will be selling in the next few months. I will be selling produce. I will hopefully be selling these things. Is there something you are interested in? Is there something you're looking for? Talking to customers is so important because you can find out that, hey, you know, somebody comes to this market all the time and they've been looking for this specific crop. Maybe it's something you can't grow, okay? But what if it's something you can? And you just found out that this person's been looking for this crop. They've come to the market and they never see it. And you can kind of find places that you can fill the gaps of other vendors. So I think that's super important. I think it's also really important to talk to other vendors and find out, you know, okay, maybe my first market will be really slow, and you talk to another vendor and they say, this is normal. Wait till June, it picks up. Or, you know, whatever the case may be. You can find out a lot of information by talking to people. Talking to customers, talking to vendors, talking to the organizers of the events. It's really important to kind of get your name out there to establish a good customer base and establish a good rapport with customers and vendors and the organizers. It's just very important. So that's kind of where we're at. That's where that's my goals over the next few weeks. You know, just get things prepared, start really honing in on all the little details of doing this. I'm very excited. I am very nervous. And I think that's kind of expected. I think if I wasn't nervous, I would be shocked. Just it's something brand new, and it's something that I'm very hopeful that I can be successful with. And I'm not, at this point, I am not putting all of my eggs in one basket, so to say. I am not saying I'm only selling these. I'm only selling this. I'm only selling this. I'm selling multiple different things because I can kind of find out that, hey, there's so many people who sell eggs. Selling eggs isn't worth it. Or there's so many people who sell, I don't want to say honey because I'll sell honey regardless. I love my bees. That's not going anywhere. But hey, pasture poultry there's just not a good market for it. Well, then okay, I won't do it in the future. It's good to know these things in the beginning and just learn as I go. I am not going to this market saying, I know everything. I know exactly what I'm going to make money on. I know exactly who my customers are and what my customer base will be. I don't know any of that information. I don't. And that's okay. I'm going to learn. I'm going to figure it out over the next probably a few months. It's going to take me probably the full summer season to really feel like I have an idea of what I'm doing. And I have an idea of my direction. So that's where we're at. And I hope this helps you guys. So if any of you guys are considering doing markets or getting ready for markets, I hope this helps to kind of ease your mind of like, we're all on the same boat. We're all getting prepared. We're all doing this. And I think it's so worth it. If you love it, it's worth it. That alone makes it worth it. Guys, I would love if you would share our videos on your social media, share them with your friends and family. And remember guys, we're growing today for a better tomorrow. Please like and subscribe and join me on the next one.